Hey everybody, Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having an unbelievable day. As for me, it's business as usual, a lot going on. Leaving the office, gotta make a couple of stops. Then I'm going to be actually heading home and working from the home office for a couple of hours or so. But baby needed me to do some things, so I'm on my honeydew run. But before I forget, by now everybody should know that I'm in the process of writing book number 25, The Black Wealth Project, and I've opened up sponsorships where people can sponsor space in the book where they can literally pay tribute to anybody, anyone, or anything that they want to, as if it has made an impact in their lives. The information for that is going to be in the description box. There's no minimum amount. If you want an opportunity to pay tribute to someone and memorialize them, this is an opportunity to do that. You just simply click the link, go to the page, and choose the amount that you want to sponsor. On that note, I'm going to get to why I'm here. I'm not going to be long today at all. It amazes me beyond measure. It amazes me beyond measure that we are in 2021 and we are still having issues with black people wearing their natural hair and wearing Afrocentric hairstyles. What further exacerbates this frustration is the fact that there are so many blacks that are absolutely vitriolic in their approach to trying to push black people back into taking an Afrocentric perspective and dealing with our people. We have been pushed into a corner of the Eurocentric idea of what is. The Eurocentric idea of what is acceptable, the Eurocentric idea of what's beautiful, the Eurocentric idea of what's classy, the Eurocentric idea of what's professional. And all of these things are pushed on us. And there's this image that we're trying to attain so that we can fit in, so that we can be accepted. And what we find out is that while they will allow us in their space, we never belong. Why? Because it's not our space. It was never created for us. It can't serve us. One of the things that you will notice that is a big difference between immigrants who have come to this country and the descendants of slaves in this country is that immigrants will come to this country and they will integrate into the system to a certain extent, but they protect their culture. You'll find, especially with Asians and many Arabs, that they will have a very strong desire for their children to remain aware of their history, remain aware of their culture at home, and their greatest fear is that they will become domesticated Americans, meaning that they will fully integrate into the Western culture and forget who they are. And the reason being is the moment you forget, you are now vulnerable in more ways than you could ever imagine to the system, because now you have no true identity of self. So you're looking for an identity and you are allowed anyone to give it to you. You see the system and you want to be accepted by the system. One of the biggest problems we have is that we are consistently trying to fit in. Now, and the thing is, I posted a meme. Well, it wasn't a meme, it was a group of pictures, and along with the group of pictures, someone had posted that people are constantly asking, why is it when black men become successful, they stop combing their hair? And they went on to say, well, as a black man becomes successful and finds himself sufficient and no longer at a point where they need the system in order to survive. In other words, you're always going to be connected to it in some way. But when you don't have to ask someone for a job, when you don't have to acquiesce to someone's whim in order to get what you need in life, especially at the bare minimum, then you will tend to move into what you feel comfortable to. And also, I think it comes from an elevated awareness of history and culture, and a willingness and ability and capacity to go to and move toward it. Man, the amount of vitriol I received and assaults. And my thing is, I never said that you had to do that. I never said that it was anything wrong with having a short-cut, cropped hairstyle as a man, a fade or whatever it is. I simply posted it and said, this is probably going to tick some of you off. And I sit back and watch, because the one thing I love about Facebook, and probably the only reason I stay on Facebook, to be totally honest, because it doesn't produce very much for me at all. It provides a presence that I can share with others when they ask about different business endeavors in different organizations. But what I like about it on my personal profile is I get to download all of my data, and I do that periodically. And what I do is I categorize that data. I bring it together, and what it does, it shows human behavior. It's like the greatest ability and the least expensive way to compile information on human behavior. And so it allows me to study people on what they think about things. It allows me to study people's spending behaviors, because everybody's talking about what they're doing. And it's so many different things. And this is being done by all of the major industries out there anywhere. They're collecting your data off of Facebook. That's why you could be checking for something on the internet, go on Facebook and see the ad for it, because they're following your behavior and your patterns anyway. I'm just doing it in a way where it's happening on my page. I'm not on anybody else's, but I can download everything associated with my page and categorize it. So I sit back and I watch, and one person came on and said, I could absolutely never go with that. I'm going to stick with, blah, blah, blah. And I said, that's your opinion. I understand that. But can you at least admit that your position comes from somewhere, that you weren't born with that there's no inherent right way or wrong way to do this thing, that you are basing what you consider to be well-kept, clean, and all of this other stuff that everybody on this post is doing, that comes from an influence, an indoctrination into what, and like somebody used the term colonized. I tend not to use the term, though I understand it. I tend not to use it because most people who don't understand it will be offended by it. Now, the truth of the matter is, everyone's indoctrinated to a certain extent. You don't exist in an environment and it not have an impact on you. Now, to what level you become indoctrinated will be determined upon by primarily the level of knowledge you have of self. When you know to be offended by something, you can't be indoctrinated by it. You will resist it, you will push away, you will not entertain it. But when you don't know to be offended by something, when you don't know to be aware and conscious of something, it will infiltrate your subconscious through repetition. And ultimately, it will become a part of your indoctrination. It will become a part of an accepted belief. And so when you come up in an environment where everybody's, talking about having your hair well kept, and you can't do this and you can't do that. Also, while self-hatred is playing a role and we are wanting to aspire to look like them and behave like them, and it's showing in our presentation, both male and female, it all comes together. Now, my whole thing is this. Historically, we have understood the power of our hair. Now, you have to understand that as blacks, that as melanated people, because it's not always descendants of Africa, but melanated people melanated people have the most unique hair on the planet. Matter of fact, almost all other ethnicities have hair that are pretty much similar. May vary slightly in texture. Some are a little more curly than others, and some are more straight, but very close texture. It's only us, and there's a uniqueness to this that travels back to the origins of mankind, and we need to understand the power in that. We spend so much time trying to be like them, and my whole problem wasn't if that's your choice. I never said everybody should be doing this. I never said that. I said that it's a beautiful thing when we can embrace ourselves, and that when you become self-sustaining, you can make choices like that. Like just like I said with other things, I can choose not to wear a suit at every freaking meeting I go to because I have become self-sustaining. I have, as my mentor said, I got the goal, and who has the goal makes the rules, because I bring something to the table. Because I bring something to the table that is valuable and that they have to come through me to get. I have a great deal of leverage of how I decide I want to bring it. And that's all this is about. It's about saying, look, I'm going to be me. And the more that I'm allowed to be me, the more powerful and influential and impactful I am in this world. The more that I have to sacrifice me in order to fit into someone else's space, the smaller I become, the less influential I become, the more easily manipulated I become, the more controlled I become, the more unhappy, the less fulfilled. And so that was my thing, but it just blows my mind that we're still policing our brothers and sisters about their hair so that we will feel comfortable and we will look professional and we will look well-groomed. And the whole idea is your idea of professional, your idea of well-groomed was given to you by somebody. That's where you have to start, is where did you get your idea of well-groomed? Is this a universal idea that no matter where you go on the planet applies? If it doesn't, then you gotta be willing to admit that you are operating within the sphere that you may not have no control, that you're probably adhering to someone else's idea of what is that may not fit your interests. And so that just really blew my mind, that we're here. We're still here. Well, they don't have to police us. We're policing us. It's like we never left the freaking plantation. And then, so if I want to be well-groomed, that means I'm colonized. Well, first of all, the idea that you insist on saying that being opposite of what you're saying is well-groomed says a lot about your mindset and your indoctrination. I don't have to say it, you're showing it. The fact that it's not that you choose to do something, it's that you insist someone else does it, or you actually attack them, you insult them, that they're lazy and a bunch of other things. They're lazy and they don't want to care for their hair and all this stuff like this. Now, the people who they're talking about can't be lazy. They're some of the hardest working people there are. That's how they got to where they're at. I'm not going to call their names. You may be fans of them or not, but I guarantee you these are the people get up and go to work every morning. I know enough about their life stories to know you can't be lazy and do what they've done. So it's not about laziness, but that's how you do it, And the thing is, there's a level of pride in doing something that they feel will be acceptable to the mainstream white America. My whole thing is, I'm too old to just be bucking for the sake of bucking, but I'd be damned if I'm not gonna be me. Some people not gonna like it, some people ain't gonna do it, but some people will look at me and say, man, how is this guy supposed to be a doctor of anything? Well, because I don't fit into that category. I'm not. I'm gonna wear t-shirts and hoodies 99% of the time. When I don't, it's going to be because I'm dressing up because I'm going somewhere with my wife and it's in a nicer setting and I'm representing my wife and everything like that. But as far as, you know, trying to make somebody else comfortable and kiss my ass, I bring what I bring, and what I'm wearing has absolutely nothing to do with it. Whether I've got a beard or I'm clean shaven has absolutely nothing to do with it. That's someone else's idea of what is. I choose not to accept it. Now, I don't force anybody to ride on I ain't saying everybody got to walk around casual. No, do your thing. But do it because it's who you are and what you feel. And be aware of where you got the idea. You know, actually get to a point where you're thinking on your own and you're thinking critically. I am who I am, not because somebody else did it. I've been doing me for a while. Matter of fact, I did a video the other day and I didn't have a hoodie on. Every now and then I'll do that. The only reason I have hoodies on is I like to keep my environment cold. So whether I'm at the office, at home, or at the you know, at the office building, I'm going to have the AC crunk. And and even when I'm at home watching TV, I'm going to have the AC crunk. So no matter what, I got the AC 70 or below. So yeah, I'm going to have a hoodie on because I feel snug and comfortable. That's how I do my thing. Now, could I turn the AC up and just wear it? That I don't like that. I like doing it like that. Again, that's just me. But I had somebody that saw me with my t-shirt on. And they were like, man, I don't think I've ever saw you do a video without a hoodie on. I'm like, I've done a few, not many, but I've done a few, and every now and then I might have a sweater on. You know, I have some nice sweaters I like to wear every now and then in the wintertime, and you know, I'll bring one of those out. But as a general rule, you know, hey, the hoodie works. I've got probably about 20 hoodies, and I've got my favorites, so you probably see them a lot. You know, it is. And then, you know, I'll get a new hoodie and that'll be my favorite for a while. Then that's just me. And they're clean. I have a very nice wash and dryer set. And so I have a very nice wash and dryer set. All my stuff is washed and kept. So, you know, it is what it is. But again, that's me. So I don't expect anybody else to do that. I can respect someone else. And I'm not going to insist on they doing something. But I definitely wouldn't be insisting someone do something that I know comes from something that I have no origin in. I look at the hairstyles that have been, maligned, you know, since I posted it. And I can literally pull hairstyles from back 100 years ago or longer that are almost identical to those hairstyles. They're historical. They're a part of our heritage. They actually had a purpose. There was a belief system associated with them. They weren't just for show. That there's a whole bunch about ourselves we don't know because we're too busy trying to fit in. On that note, look, I'm gonna get ready to get off. I've made it here. I'm finna grab this stuff out this store for baby and move on to my next stop. But I had to drop this one. You know, and I know it'll be people who don't like it, and there's always people who don't like it. You know, hey, I told you before, I'm not here to be liked. You know, if I wanted to be liked, I would be doing something totally different than this. I'm not here to be liked. I am here to leave a message. I am here to try to inspire, to try to teach, to empower. That's why I'm here, period. On that note, look, I'm about to get out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day, and I will catch up with you a little later. On that note, I'm out.